with your employer through a catastrophic reinsurance plan to lower premiums by about $2,500 per family per year.
Your employer, it's estimated, would see premiums fall by as much as 3,000%, which means they could give you a raise. If you have health care, my plan will lower your premium.
I'd like to get this issue settled about whether premiums are reduced before we leave today, because I'm pretty certain I'm not wrong.
Tonight.
That's pretty clear.
Facts are important. Premiums have climbed $2,370 for the average family for the period of 2009 to 2012. Healthcare spending has increased $4,500 per person in 2011, and we know from the United States Supreme Court that there is a new American individual mandate. So on a lot of counts, we got Obamacare, but we didn't get the savings that that he talked about.
All right, then I'm going to cross that out. He has not kept his promise. What about the debt and deficit?
Let's go to debt and deficit. Let's watch it.
I think it starts with Washington. We've got to show that we've got good habits, because if we're running up trillion-dollar debts that we're passing on to the next generation, then a lot of people are going to think, well, you know what, there's easy money out there.
Okay. And we're spending the easy money, $4.9 trillion in deficit spending in the past 4 years, which happens to be almost twice as much as President George W. Bush racked up in 8 years. Let's see what the president said about entitlements. He promised entitlement reforms within his term.
Well, Tom, we're going to have to take on entitlements, and I think we've got to do it quickly. We're going to have a lot of work to do, so I can't guarantee that we're going to do it in the next 2 years, but I'd like to do it in my first term as president.
Has he done it in his first term as president? He told Tom Brokaw he would. Food stamp recipients increased by 50% to almost 46 million people in 3.5 years. Medicaid recipients increased, Steve, by 8 million people. Disability recipients increased to 11.7 million people. We checked out the promises. There's a lot of others that weren't kept as well, sure, unfortunately. But the facts matter, and we're going to be listening to promises hard from both candidates tomorrow night. I'll be there, and I'll be reporting on it.
Fantastic. So if you're Mitt Romney, all you'd really have to do is, Mr. President, last time you were here at the town hall, you said this, this, and this. And
history counts. History matters, especially when people are out of jobs.
All right, indeed. All right.
And climate change is a great example. When I was asked earlier about the issue of coal, under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. Even, regardless of what I say about whether coal is good or bad, because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal-powered plants, natural gas, you name it, whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations. That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers.
More Americans are out of work, and more are working harder for less. More of you have lost your homes, and even more are watching your home values plummet. The way Bush has done it over the last 8 years, this has been the fiscally most irresponsible administration that we have seen. Driving up our national debt. It is now over $9 trillion. Over $9 trillion of debt that we are going to have to pay back. We can't afford to mortgage our children's future on another mountain of debt. That is money that we're all going to have to pay back. $30,000 for every man, woman, and child. That's irresponsible. It's unpatriotic. My economic team, which I'm going to be meeting with today, is helping to shape what is going to be a bold agenda to create 2.5 million new jobs. We can create that pay well and can't be outsourced. We have to have a president who understands that the essence of the American dream is a good job.